Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about some issues with the GoPro 8 and how you might go about fixing them. So the first one we're going to talk about is the lens. Now this was quite controversial. The older model, the GoPro 7 Black, had a removable lens cover so that you could change this out for a different neutral density filter or polarizer or dye filter, or if there was damage to the lens then you could change that over as well. In the Hero 8 Black it's all integrated and much slimmer, which is great. GoPro have said that there's no way that they can replace any of the front lens, so if you do happen to scratch it you're going to be left with a pretty expensive paperweight. Now you've got a couple of options to solve this one. So the one I went with was getting a tempered glass screen cover and applying that. You can pick these up for about £8 or £9 on Amazon, it's not too bad. And you can get ones that have got a couple of lens protectors in each packet, so that if you do happen to scratch or damage one of them, you can just whip it off and put the new one on. In my opinion, the tempered glass screen protector doesn't really have too much of an impact on the quality of the footage that comes out of it. Another option that you've got is buying the dive housing for the GoPro 8 and putting it in there. Although you are going to have a little bit of a drop in audio quality when you do that, obviously the entire GoPro is going to be protected. Now there's a couple more options here for you. So GoPro has released a new subscription service called GoPro Plus. And it's about £5 a month or so, and they say that they will just give you a new camera, no questions asked, which sounds great. There's a couple of catches. So one of them is it's only in selected countries. I'll kind of throw a list up here on screen just so that you can see which ones, and they will replace the camera when you send in the old damaged one, so you have to actually still have the camera and not have lost it. Should mention as well that with that subscription you also get half price on all the mounts and accessories, and you get a whole bunch of free cloud storage. So if that's your thing, it might be worth it. For the price that it is annually, you wonder whether maybe just getting some gadget insurance might be a better option, and then that way if you lose it you're still covered as well. Your last choice here is using some neutral density filters. So Polar Pro makes some, there'll be some other companies that will come out with them soon, and they sort of clip onto the back and you can just film using them. Obviously if you're already in quite low light you might not want to put another filter onto your camera. You can get very low stop, like 2-stop neutral density filters, but still. There's also a little bit of uncertainty at the minute about how well they stick onto the camera. Obviously with the lens protruding from the body a lot less, there's much less for the ND filters to grip onto, so there might be some issues with that. Not sure yet. Now the second issue is to do with the GoPro Hero 8 mount. So the one that it comes with in the box, I feel like doesn't actually fit the camera that well. You can see in this footage here that there's quite a lot of wobble when I put it on my helmet. Now what I found is that using one of the older mounts, so I've got this one here from the GoPro Hero 4, this is actually an official GoPro mount, but I've used some of the third-party mounts as well and they fit pretty well. And the wobble is much less with the older mounts, so bear that in mind. Just a quick note as well on the integrated mount, if you happen to break the clips at the bottom, that's not an issue, you can just replace them and you can get a new mount online. The bigger problem is it's held on by 4 screws at the bottom. They actually don't go too deep into the GoPro, so if you manage to yank it so hard that it comes out of that, then you are going to strip the thread of the holes in the inside of the GoPro. GoPro haven't offered a solution for what might happen if you manage to do that. However, you can buy these third-party frames that just go around the outside of the GoPro, and after that you'll still be able to mount it to things, just a bit more annoying. Interestingly, you can get these mounts with a hot shoe so that you could put in an external microphone, and there's space to mount a light as well. And all of this looks to be a lot cheaper than the 50-60 quid official media mods that are meant to be coming out later on this year. So the last issue is to do with the new GoPro 8 batteries, which are distinguishable by the blue on them. Although they're the same size and shape as the GoPro 7 and earlier batteries, and what GoPro says is different is they provide a higher current so that the camera can use more intensive processes to stabilise higher quality, higher frame rate footage that the earlier models couldn't do. These are actually kind of difficult to find online. There's only a couple of places that will sell them and they're 20 quid, which isn't too bad, but when you see that you can get 3 Hero 7 batteries and a charger all for about the same price, it's a little bit annoying. Personally, I think the best thing to do in this instance is just to wait a little while. In a couple of weeks' time, there'll be more third-party batteries that will be coming out, and I'm sure that they'll be pretty much indistinguishable from the official GoPro Hero 8 ones. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you found any of it helpful, please leave the video a like, as it really helps me out. If you want to see more content like this, then consider subscribing. I post new videos every week on travel, filmmaking and photography.